Telecommunications under the Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria have demanded upward reviews in voice calls, short message services, SMS and data costs. Alton said this in a letter addressed to the Nigerian Communications Commission, citing the rising cost of running business in the country. According to Alton, the proposed upward review of the price of calls will increase from 6.4 naira to 8.95 naira, while the price cap of SMS will increase from 4 naira to 5.61 naira. The group said this had increased energy costs, increasing their operating expenses by 35%. And now, to help understand the impact of this development on phone users, right now joined by renowned economist Dr. Emeka Okengu. Hello, Emeka. Good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, and thanks for having me on your program.
Beautiful. Now, we understand that the cost of running business in Nigeria is expensive as the days go by. But is the 40% increase in any way or manner justified?
Well, calling it expensive will be understating it. I think the word should have been astronomical. Okay, you're having this astronomical cost against products that are not even competitive. All right, and you're having this astronomical cost against no social service of any kind. So what it is you have is a cacophony of problems or troubles, or what my friend prefers to call problems. Troubles and problems mixed together. I think we are really in between that hard place, and the rock. There's no way you can be increasing energy cost and then you are increasing the cost of telecommunications services. It doesn't just sit. Okay, I don't see that the reason. I don't see the essence. It's not as if that you have better connectivity. It's not as if you have, better network services. So what we're just seeing is that they're just transferring, what is supposed to be government, responsibility, as it were, to the citizenry that are already capsing. So for me, the word is not expensive. The word is astronomical and impossible, challenges against running businesses in Nigeria.
Well, everyone knows that going into business, the purpose for that is to make profit. These operators in question went into business in order to make profit. But if they continue losing instead of gaining, it is not wise either to continue just the same way. Things have changed, and there is there's no doubt at all that one would consider this step taken by these operators as a wise one.
Okay, are you talking about the operators, the telecoms operators?
Yes.
Are you talking about the people that are giving services to?
No, they now that they are trying to increase the what is it now? The tariff. I think one would think that it is very justifiable. Otherwise, they are doing no business.
Let's even have a very simple, very simplistic, overview of it now. You're calling me from Ibadan, I'm in Abuja. If by the end of the day this call will cost us about 20,000 or 10,000, who bears the cost? How many people are advertising in your radio television? What is the cost of having this program on air? Are you looking at your energy cost yourself? So by the end of the day, if you want to get your views across, and a lot of what it is you're talking about now, I stand to be quoted wrongly, would be on corporate social responsibility. You're giving services that is not even commensurate with the adverts and you're getting in your stations. So if you're looking at them as being in business, why don't you look at you at the lower rank of this service provision? How does that also affect you? If you needed to get 5,000 naira recharge card to talk to any of your guests at any point in time, and you needed to talk to 10 guests in a day, how much would that be taken out of your operating capital? Okay, so it's just not about them being in business. It's all about us understanding, how this impacts and affects everybody. Okay?
All right. Now, there is no doubt that this step is the outcome of this very action is going to have a kind of ripple effect on other businesses. In what nature do we expect this to happen?
Well, it's because we don't have alternatives, and this is where somehow we look at what you might call your social architecture. In what ways is government supporting you to be able to survive? Okay, and one of these communications is an essential and must be treated as an essential service. Okay, that is telephone and phone services are no longer luxuries. Okay, a lot of people, especially in this COVID context, a lot of people, don't want to go to church. They want to join the service using their telephones. So how is that going to be impacting on them? A lot of people are working from home. How is it going to be impacting on them? So it's not about looking at the man who is building the infrastructure. What about the man who now needs this service as he needs subsidy? He needs it to be able to do his everyday businesses. So I think it's a failure of a total understanding of what he needs, what citizens, when you're talking about, protecting the lives and properties of citizens, people think it's about, your breath. Okay, to some people, to everybody, telephone has become life. People in Ibadan are listening to me right now, and I'm in Abuja, seated in my office because, of this equipment. So what happens when you're not able to get across to me? Are you going to be driving down or flying down or get me to fly down to Ibadan to come to your studio? What about those who need, to talk to their patients? What about those who need to reach out to their parents? So when you're looking at this thing, you must be able to look at the social aspect, the social component of, this 40% increase. And nobody's salary is increasing. I don't know if yours has increased. Okay, at least mine hasn't. Okay, so the cost of living is getting worse by the day, and then you are encouraging people, to do things virtually, more than they do it physically. How does this add up?
Now, beyond the GSM operators, other businesses have also decided to leave the country for neighboring countries where there is constant energy. Would you think the government is doing anything at all to address this very issue of energy costs?
I don't even think it's a government problem. I think it's all of our problems for us to be able to understand, that what you need most. When we talk about energy and power, do we need to depend on hydro? Do we need to depend? I mean, there are new protocols all over the globe. Now, I'm not even talking about the solars. I'm talking about the hydrogen fuel cells. And we have all these that we can be able to deploy. I'm talking about the CNGs, the compressed natural gas. So I think it's all about the failure of, government, if you may, depending on your classification of government, because somehow, all of us make up government. Okay, to be able to build a holistic development framework for our country. Okay, and then first and foremost, apply what you call the minimums, standards for what we call, our minimums for human habitation or human existence. Okay, the moment you make energy a luxury, which is what it's become. I mean, we're very happy to celebrate somebody buying a generator and then calling it past my neighbor. Okay, that psyche means that, energy is something of some kind of privilege. Nobody has made it, as elementary as we need to eat every day, we also need energy.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Emeka, for being part of our program today. All right.